Hey, thanks for meeting with me yesterday. I wanted to give you a quick summary about what we talked about, just in case you missed anything, and I have a couple of resources to add to our conversation. So I talked about like what are the big four things that you need to know about an academic library, what you can expect from a librarian, and let's see. Then we're going to go into things related to your assignment. So finding information related to PICO, so like population, interventions, outcomes, things like that. We're going to look at solutions and case studies in marketing in societies worldwide. We're going to look at campaign advice and criteria help so you can see what other public campaigns look like. And then we're going to find examples on the open web that you might be able to make a pitch and emulate. So, first of all, the big four things you need to know about an academic library. A great brainstorming tool is the library catalog. It's a database of just about everything that the library subscribes to, but it's thrown together higgledy-piggledy. So you can type in something like public, and you can put in a word salad. It's natural language searching. Public health, COVID, vaccination, children, and you might get some things. Sometimes it helps to have more structure, but basically it's a good brainstorming tool where you just want to throw out ideas and see if there's anything written about it. The second thing that every academic library has is databases. You can access these by name. So if there's one that you really like JSTOR or Academic Search Ultimate, you can go in that way. You can go in by subject. So if you're working with somebody who's doing like global warming or something like that, you might look for evidence in atmospheric science about things like that before you go into the populations affected. So this might be describing the problem. Or you could go into any of these other ones. When you go into them, by the way, you will be accessing whoever the librarian is. What is this? Something that I have to fix. You'll find out what the librarian for that subject provides as their favorite database, and you'll also be able to see their subject guide. We'll go to that in just a minute. Third thing every academic library has is interlibrary loan. If you find it out on the open web, like a citation, go into interlibrary loan, log in. First time you'll have to fill out a form. This is strictly private, so whatever you ask for, no one's going to know again. So we talked about the privacy policy, but you get it for free and really quickly too. Last thing is research guides. Come along with me to research guides and we'll carry on. I have a guide for you that I should have showed you yesterday. So all the librarians are listed here throughout campus. There's 40-ish on all these different subjects. There's also more advanced applications. So if you're interested in qualitative survey design, or if you're interested in SPSS or anything like that, you can look it up here. There might be a guide for it. So let's type in communication. And when you go to this guide, you'll find my picture and contact info. But let's go to PhD and Masters. And I have a list of things that I can show you. So when we first start out, we want to find evidence of populations, interventions, societal issues, and things like that. Remember we did that yesterday? When you go to, so this is like brainstorming tools where you're just kind of getting ideas. This is mostly newspapers. This is some law and state stuff. This is national things going on. There's the library catalog again. But yesterday we started out with particular databases. So there's PsycInfo that I recommended. I also recommended one called CINAHL, which I have to add to this list. But let me show you PsycInfo. These are all databases that are linked from the library homepage too. When you go to advanced search, all of the studies in PsycInfo, psychology, are based off of well-defined populations. So you could type in adolescence, and you might get synonyms for it. And you might do social media. And when we're only looking in psychology, we don't have to add any of the other terms because they're going to be talking about those. If you want to narrow it down, you can say, well, only look in the title. That's a great trick when you have like 6,000 search results. That narrows it down. So you can see all sorts of issues where there's maybe interventions. Maybe it's helping remind people to take a medication. Maybe it's a way to promote like talk therapy. So if you feel like you're depressed, you can hit a button on your cell phone. Who knows? You have to dig into those. But you can go by date and narrow it down. I mean, who knows? You're going to find out. You can narrow it down by subject. So you can like, well, what are people talking about? So adolescent development, that's a big one, especially related to like body image and like Instagram and things like that. There's peers, adolescent behavior. Oh, hello. There's an issue. So you don't have to know the name of the issue. You could go in and you can see what's going on. Psychological engagement, risk factors, well-being. So I'm seeing a trend of like mental health. You can also see other populations that you could study. So like obviously parents and family and things like that. Another one you can look at that's less reliable in PsycInfo is population. Human, that narrows it down. But you can see if you wanted to narrow it down or see what other populations there were, you could look at them in that manner. This one's less reliable though, just the way that they sort out the metadata. Moving on, the other databases that I recommend for population that don't show up in that guide are CINAHL, and if you go to nursing, I'll add that to the list. But if you go to nursing, CINAHL is at the top. There's another one in business called Mintel that I have never gone into, but our business and marketing librarian said that this is the great way to find examples of marketing to specific populations. And it talks about those populations. Where are you, Mintel? Min. Oh, Lord. Oh, there is no Mintel. Okay, scratch that. I'll find out what they recommended. I must have missed something, or maybe it's under a different name. But you can go in through business databases as well, because they're looking at like marketing and how to sell to people. Okay, how do we move out from those smaller populations, the individual populations, and more into communities or cultures? That one is called sociological abstracts. That one's right here. Sociological abstracts is great because you can see case studies where a city or a municipality has worked on something. So that's a great one to look at. Let's go to the library catalog. So all those databases are great, though. They're all talking about issues. And so if you see one related to education, or if you see one related to public policy, look in those and see if you can't find what you're looking for. There's a lot of overlap, but there's some that are really great that you might find if you look in your niche. If we go to the library catalog, if we go to advanced search and do health campaign and a star, that will do health campaign or health campaigns. And then you could type in anything, but let's see, if this is in the title, this should give us everything related to a health campaign. Oh, so there's only 3,000 results. How do you narrow and get through those? You can sort by date and newest. Oh, look at that, the unintended consequence. Oh yeah, stigma. I think, okay, I'm not going to put my political opinion on that, but unintended consequences is a big deal with some legislation that I've noticed. But you can go by date newest, so you can see, well, what's been going on lately. You can narrow down by resource type, and you can say, I specifically want books. So these would be guides. It says graphic design reader, emotion and animated films. If you see a book on Amazon, by the way, if you want it for the library, let me know and I'll get it for you in like a day. We have Prime, so we can get it for you, etc. But if you add keywords, health campaign and vaccine, again, I did the star, what do we get? All of a sudden we get things that are related to vaccines on social media, preteen vaccine week, health campaign in Peru, all sorts of different things from all over the place. So you can see what other people have done, how they've framed their population and their problem and the outcomes. And this might be a great place to find case studies. Sociological abstracts would be good for that one too. How do we find more stuff out on the open web? If you go to Google if you do anything and then put a colon, so public health campaign, and then put a colon, it's going to search for everything that I write after the colon in that context. So let's look up public health campaign, body image. Body image, teens, you can put in the word salad. Body image, teens, Instagram, TikTok. And here we'll see different things going on. And it might, oh, throughout campaign. I need everything with campaign. So these teen girls, helping young people with mental health, body proud, different campaigns and different things like that. Want to be found on the open web, but sometimes looking for them is arduous. So if you frame it in the colon, you can do it that way. You can also do, we can look at the other side. What is marketing? Oh, it wanted to avoid marketing. Oh, looks like it's more on the campaigns. Okay, fool around with that. It's a lot of fun. There's another service called Gemini. Used to be called Bard until Valentine's Day, and they changed the name. I don't want you to look at my precise location. So when you are looking on Google and you throw in keywords, it will go out and return specific websites that you can then investigate. If you wanted somebody to go out and give you an executive summary of many of those websites in an arbitrary and hidden manner, you can go to this. It's a generative AI tool that looks at a lot of the same things. So what are famous, and this you can do word salad too. And it doesn't, grammar and spelling don't matter. What are famous public health campaigns? And you can tie it to time in the last 4 years. I don't know how it finds this. Many of it things that we look at are changing all the time. You might do this search from 2 different computers and get 2 different search results. So beware. This is not something that you would want to reference, but this is a brainstorming tool where you would look for more ideas. So World Health Organization, Mask Up America, Vaccines Save Lives. So what is your topic? Are you looking for campaigns that have done something that's similar or maybe kind of close? Dig around in this. All these public health campaigns are public, right? So you should be able to find some. Last thing, if you want to buy anything or if you want to meet with me or if you want me to look at anything, send me an email. I have a space here in the library where we could meet with a big TV if you wanted to meet with your team, or I can visit via Zoom or anything else like that. Thank you.